So thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
The first thing I want to start from is actually the beginning. I know you're from Miami, and you fell in love with dancing there. So tell me about your experience in Miami and falling in love with dancing.
So what ended up happening is at 9 years old, I got hit by a car, broke my left leg,
Jesus.
almost died.
It's a great start to an interview.
Great start. This is the story. This is the life. Doctor told me, that I would never kind of run again or play. Kids are active.
Right.
At that point, I wasn't dancing at all. But they were like, your daughter, she has to learn how to walk again, but that's it.
Right.
And she won't be really active going forward in her life.
Right.
Well, that was very nerve-wracking to hear as a 9-year-old saying, like, you can't go and get crazy outside and play with your friends. So the next year, after recovering from the accident, there was this like summer program and I needed to interact with kids. I was homeschooled from the accident. I was by myself all the time. I only had one sister and I couldn't go outside and play.
Right.
So that time they had a community camp and my mom sent me to community camp with my family and some other friends, and they offered dance. And I was like, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna do it. At the end of the summer, the parents are invited, so my mom comes and we put on a dance performance. And the dance teacher tells my mom, she's like, your daughter is talented. She could be a dancer. My mom's like, no, she can't. One, she has no rhythm. Two, like, she's not supposed to be doing this.
Right.
Eventually, I end up dancing, like going into dance professionally. I went to a middle school. Do we want to stop? Shh. It worked. Anyways, I went into a middle school where you audition to get in, and I pursued dance from middle school into high school. I went to New World School of the Arts, which is one of the best schools in the United States for practicing arts. It was only 400 kids. From there, I knew I wanted to move to New York. I came to New York every summer on scholarship to dance for Dance Theater of Harlem and Alvin Ailey.
Right.
I moved and went to the Alvin Ailey Fordham BFA program where I got a bachelor's in fine arts, and I studied theology, which was the study of religion.
Right.
The interesting thing that happened though is my senior year I was afforded opportunities to dance with 3 professional companies. I traveled and I worked with those companies. By the end of my senior year, I knew that I didn't want to be a professional dancer.
Okay.
And I remember my dance history teacher saying at some point in your adult life you're going to be faced with the decision of doing it for the love of the art or doing it for the love of money. And I was like, well, why can't you do both? And at that point, I had to decide, well, I didn't want to be a starving artist in New York, and auditioning takes a lot of work. So shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there still grinding, trying to become a dancer, and gigging, as we call it, like gigging. It's not something that I definitely enjoyed. I didn't love the process as much as I loved the performance.
Right.
So it was like, since I don't trust this process, I kind of decided to take a different route. Post-college, I stopped dancing, concert dance, and had an opportunity to continue performing for the Knicks City Dancers. It was definitely not aligned with what I was trained, but I still loved performing. So started dancing for the Knicks City Dancer. Then I had an opportunity during that audition to become a model. I went in to meet an agent of a friend that I met at that audition. The agent gave me a contract right away. I was signed to Wilhelmina within the 4 days of that audition, booked the Knicks. And then my life kind of began, like my adult life began, where I was a model, full-time model every day, and then I was a dancer. And like I said, I wasn't a concert dancer as much as I was a performer. And I worked with Beyonce, I was backup for BMAs, I did Wyclef, I traveled and toured with Pitbull, so I had a lot of opportunities to dance commercially behind artists as well as other jobs like America's Got Talent, and all those things.
Now, the most important question I'm going to ask you in your entire life.
Yeah.
Tell me about Beyonce.
Most important question. I've never met a woman that works harder than Beyonce. I've never met a person that worked harder than Beyonce. I had a full day with her alone with 2 choreographers, and when I tell you it was nonstop, like she wouldn't stop until it was perfect. She was lovely. She was the nicest woman. Still to this day, if she comes in anywhere, she will always say hi if she remembers you. I find that very welcoming and warming. But that was the one takeaway for me with working with Beyonce, is that the hustle doesn't stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to get it until you do it until you get it right, and that's what she's done. It's not that she was afforded that opportunity because it was passed down from generations. She worked hard, and she continues to work hard.
So how do you juggle everything from modeling to hosting to dancing to
Yes.
wow.
So I consider myself a part of this last generation. I have 5 jobs, pretty much. I am an instructor at Peloton, which is a cycling studio. I've never wanted to be a fitness instructor. I love fitness. Never wanted to be a fitness instructor, but it ends up, it kind of like is a hybrid between cycling, working out, being active, and on camera work. 4
Right.
cameras, a production studio, live studio audience, like live classmates, and then it's broadcast live across the country. So it's the same kind of idea of the Nets
Right.
meets fitness
Right.
concept. So Peloton instructor, I have my own company called ilovesquad.com, which is a website that encourages and empowers women specifically through fitness and changing the way we experience fitness and how to change our approach and perspective around working out and how that can translate into our personal lives. Then I'm an Adidas athlete, so I'm contracted by Adidas where I do all these events, these shoots. I'm in the 2017 women's campaign with Hannah Brofman, Robin Arzon, Kali Kloss, like all these amazing women. Then obviously I host for the Brooklyn Nets,
Right.
and I'm a full-time model.
Right.
So being a part of the Slash generation, everyone's like, well, how do you do it all? It's like, well, I believe as a woman I can do it all.
Right.
So I just do it all. And just knowing that you can outsource anything, it's very important. So sometimes I have to realize and I catch myself, I can't do it alone. I need a
Right.
team behind me. I need a support system.
Right.
I need a group of friends that I can trust.
Right.
And building those systems are essential. So taking the time to invest in that support network is essential. And I've taken that time and I continue to pursue my dream, always relying on my sources for inspiration,
Right.
for, getting the job done, whether it's like making sure we have content on the blog or getting better as a host, getting feedback, constructive feedback, and
Right.
building that kind of alliance with the people I work with at the Nets. So it's always like I outsource a lot of what I do while being able to give at most all I can to those 5 jobs.
So, for one thing, the fitness thing is what I'm concerned about, and your hair is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I know everyone wants to know your hair care routine. That was one
Yeah.
question that a friend of mine asked me when she looked at your
Yeah.
IG page. She's like, what does she do to her hair?
Yeah.
So, for every woman out there that sees your hair and all of its crown, how do you get your fluff?
Well, these are natural curls.
Uh-huh.
And I think as a black woman and as a biracial woman, you grow up, especially in Miami, we grow up like you straighten your hair.
Right.
Like you don't go to a nice place unless you have like straight hair. You gotta get it straight. Once I moved to New York, I let that go, that idea of, looking professional or looking on point. I needed to straighten my hair. You don't need to have straight hair to look professional.
Right.
I embrace my curls. They're part of who I am. This is how God made me, and I'm proud of it. My hair care routine varies. Depends on what kind of curl type I want for that day.
Right.
Like if I use mousse, then it elongates my curls. So if I wanted to lay a little flatter, a lot of the products that I use, Bumble and Bumble came out with their new curl cream line. I was a big Bumble and Bumble girl back when I was a Nick City dancer. And it wasn't made for my type of hair, and I learned that quickly.
Right.
But in the last year and a half, they've launched some new products, and they've been strategic about it. And I think that product, they have the curl cream, is legit one of my favorite things.
Right.
Moroccan curl cream, also good if you need extra hydration. In the summertime, it gets
Especially
dry.
with color.
Yes, I get some
right.
highlights.
Yeah,
It gets dry.
yeah.
You need a little bit something with oil. So I use that, and then We Dad, their hydration curl cream, is one of my favorites. Yeah. Yeah, and I think honestly, when it comes to like working out and then transitioning to
Yeah.
going to a Nets game, I don't put too much energy or force into trying to make my hair look like presentable.
Right.
My hair is presentable.
Right.
It is curls, it's natural. It's the most and best way to be presentable. So I throw it up, I leave it out, I let it do what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't fuss with it too much.
Now, I know you have to go. You have a busy
go.
day.
Let's go.
So tell me, what would you tell young women who want to be in your position? Because
Yeah.
there's sometimes even I feel like I can't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And how or what do you say to women like that, wanting to be not necessarily in your shoes, but that it's okay to take that path, that it's okay to trust the process. What do you say to them?
Well, in actuality, I just had that kind of, I hit that roadblock a couple days ago where I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Like
Right.
we all,
Right.
no matter where you are in your industry, in your field, in your career, in just your path of life, you will always have those roadblocks or that mindset of, I'm not doing this right. I'm
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah.
anything. She's doing better.
Right.
He's doing better.
Right.
I'm not where I should be. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too poor. I'm too rich. I'm just I'm not in the right city. We can have all these excuses. And the one thing that has helped me, and I trust truly beyond belief, is that in order to figure out where you are and to identify if you're on the correct path, look at the people around you. The people around you are a reflection of who you are. So if the women that you're with aren't exactly where you want to be, then you're not putting yourself in the proper position. You might have to change your career. You might have to go to a different school. You might have to go to a different church. You might have to, start making, not necessarily networking, but networking for lack of a better word, or making alliances or connections with other women and men that are doing what you want to do. So I think that that's when I recognized, when I had that moment, I was like, who are the women I'm around? And when I saw that they were powerful, total badasses, women that were just taking over the world,
Right.
I was like, okay, they are a reflection of me. I can calm down, slow down. So yeah, I think the women that are around you, like I said, or the women and men that are around you, your support system, your network system, or you're just like, I guess your inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not where you want to be, then you should just be proactive in making the connections and putting yourself in a position to be around those women and men that can not necessarily help you, but inspire you.
Right.
And like I said, I fell into that roadblock a couple days ago, and I looked at the women that were around me, and I was like, if these are the women that I reflect, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right place. So I think my one advice is to make sure you're making those connections, those associations, and just being in touch when you're out of touch.
Right.
Recognizing that, okay, I don't have the answer. Let me ask somebody for help. Let me ask you how
That's
to
a
do
huge
this.
problem.
Yeah.
Asking for help. Yeah.
Yeah, like the pride of having it all together. I don't. And I'm very vocal. I get this question all the time. It's like, on Instagram, when people say being authentic, being real, what does that mean to you? That means to let you know I don't have it all together. There's no such thing. It doesn't come in a pretty bow. No one's delivering me this package at my door saying, here's your life and it's all perfect. No way. Every day you're gonna get up and it's gonna be something new. There's gonna be a challenge, an obstacle. You're gonna get in a fight with your boyfriend, your husband, your partner, your spouse. Like, it's just gonna be, your kid's sick. You don't even have kids, you want kids. Like, it's just something every day. Your hair doesn't look good. You're like trying to get my curls together. Like, something's just, every day it's something.
Right.
So how do you problem solve? You recognize, you identify, you problem solve, and you carry on. And like, that's the thing, is like, if you don't have a support system to bring you back to reality, like, girl, you're kind of worried about the wrong thing right now. Or you got it all together. Like, it doesn't need to be all together.
Right.
Recognizing you're never gonna have it all together, but doing what you can with what you have goes a long way. Yeah.
Awesome. One last question. Being from North Carolina, Duke and Carolina's tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't know
you're
if
from North Carolina.
I am. I'm from Raleigh, Durham. Like, I'm in the heart of Duke and
Yeah.
Carolina. So tell me, have you heard about the Carolina Duke rivalry? Are you excited to actually see it in person?
I'm excited to see it in person. Yes, I didn't come from a big school, so this is very new territory for me.
Right.
Hosting the ACC has been a fantastic opportunity. I love it. I love the energy of college because I do NBA hosting.
Right.
The NBA a little bit more subdued at certain arenas with certain teams.
Right.
But for the most part, in comparison, definitely subdued than college.
Right.
To see them go head to head, like Tar Heels and Blue Devils, I think it's gonna be outrageous. I don't know who's gonna take it. I don't want to call like, oh, this person, that person. I love that you're from North Carolina, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I think this team's gonna take it or that. Don't know.
I kind of say UNC's gonna win.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. But I do, from what I've seen so far in the ACC, is both teams, they have endurance. So that's something about being a winner. It's not necessarily, so it's not even being a winner, but being a champion.
Right.
Being a champion isn't necessarily winning one game. It's having endurance and knowing how to troubleshoot continuously to win every single game. And I think they both embody those qualities. So excited to see them go head to head.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.